Welcome, Virgo. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your October reading. This is a general reading, so it's not necessarily going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, the information for that is in the description box below. Thank you for being here. I particularly want to give a special thank you for the donations that I've received. It is so meaningful to me, not only because it sustains my channel, but also because it deepens the connection that I have with you. And I do this so that you may benefit from whatever insights you may gain. So thank you again for that. Virgo, let's get started with your overall energy. The King of Pentacles. This is beautiful. You are exhibiting a mastery of your craft, your professional practice, some aspect of your business, your empire, your home. You are in a place of generosity in whatever field you endeavor, in your community, in your home. You enjoy and understand the importance of sharing what you've learned with others, modeling your growth so that others can see and learn in that way. You are more than willing to teach a person how to fish rather than giving them a fish for a day. And this card is talking very much about the way that you encourage, inspire, motivate, and share what you've learned for the benefit, the abundance of others. In the beginning of October, the Empress card. The Empress card is really about your power to love and to be loved. Venus is the ruling planet this card exemplifies. And when I say love, I mean that in its broadest definition. So the work that you do, you love. The family, the loved ones, the community you work with and for. This is complete devotion. This is complete service, true to your sign's characteristic. And it is, in a sense, in the sense of being completely aligned with whatever natural rhythms adhere to your practice, your home life, your community, and this attunement to others involved helps you to support others by modeling best practices. So this is the second card that is describing the way that you share your practice by modeling best practices, and that you are not only able to generate abundance, generate new ideas for abundance, but you're able to enjoy the process so much so that you allow yourself to be appreciated, loved, recognized, understanding that that's part of the sharing and modeling of your work, that as much as the discipline, the persistence, the consistency, the hard work does. So this is beautiful energy for the beginning of October. In the middle of October, we have the Six of Swords. I'm feeling like you have come to a place where you realize that sharing your gifts, sharing your practice, sharing the tools of your trade, sharing the abundance of your home, of your heart, is needs to be shared in a more hospitable environment. So there's something about your environment that feels limiting, where you feel invisible. Perhaps you're not feeling heard. You're not being allowed or feeling empowered to contribute to a situation, a challenge, or a chaotic environment in the way that you think you can. And in that regard, you are moving away from something that you have come and are coming to accept as necessary. This can have been a challenging situation, a challenging relationship, or home life where you felt tethered to a responsibility, perhaps, as an example, that has not been forthcoming to you, has not been reciprocal, has not been a mutual experience of growth or gaining. Uh, there's even a sense that there is an inability to be on the same page, that you don't see eye to eye with those involved in this environment in a way that you feel is necessary in order to be productive. So, this moving on, moving away, has a flavor of uh, finding peace, accepting the necessity of these challenges, and understanding that you're deserving of more, that you can be successful towards something that is extremely significant to you. Now, this sort of phase of your career or practice or communal service is highly significant to you, and you need to be in an encouraging, supportive environment in order to be successful. And in the end of October, the Two of Cups. This is actually telling me a story about your uh, willingness to be the provider in a situation where you may not have been happy. Uh, Recently, not necessarily forever. Maybe it never was a situation where you were truly happy, but you felt a sense of responsibility and ownership in terms of being a provider, taking care of those, perhaps in your family, perhaps on your team, grooming a team, showing others what needed to be done, and doing that in a way that now feels as though you've outgrown that challenge, that you are able to step away from that responsibility. This feels like a very sticky situation, but you're moving towards something that has real, authentic connection for who you are now. There's some level of participation in your career, your practice, your home life, your relationship that was missing. And in part, that's perhaps because you did not feel whole within. You did not feel that uh, you were deserving of the achievement of something less tangible than the responsibilities and tasks of your work. This feels like the desire to be loved in the way that you feel you can love, perhaps in the way that you love your work, perhaps in the way that you're devoted to your community, perhaps in the way that you love your children, in a way that was not mirrored in the relationship with your spouse. This is you actually looking to a deeper connection that you hope to see reflected in improved relationships. Some of these relationships may be new, some of them may be refreshed. So I'm not sure that you're leaving uh, in each case for all of you, but you are looking to revive a sense of deeper connectedness that has always eluded you. I'm going to pull an oracle card, Flora and Fauna of Africa, and hope that this reading is resonating for you, Virgo. Please like this video. Please share this with others who may find it useful, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. Greatly appreciated. And I pulled the Springbok, and the key word is devotion, duty. Focus your energy and deal with things now. That is how you turn your fantasies to realities. You know, I have to say, with both the Empress and the Two of Cups, there's a sense here that there is love available to you. Love now that you never felt you could achieve, or love that you did not feel you were deserving of, that you understood, that you were willing to commit to. I believe now you're understanding that there is love that uh, has always been there for you. And perhaps you did not feel up to the challenge. You did not recognize the challenge at the time that it was available. So this feels like a renewal. The Empress in the beginning of October is clarified by the Ten of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. Interesting, because I see you dropping some obligation that has structured your life in the past. This has been a part of not only your professional experience, your work environment, the responsibilities that were expected of you by others, but there's also a sense that you are no longer privileging the desires of others, particularly others who you feel that you are providing for in some way. So that the release of this is the release of a lot of exhaustion, the things that just took so much energy for you to keep going, to stay on top of, that were not in some way giving back to you in a way that you needed them to. You are releasing, and I think this is so fascinating as a clarification of the Empress, where everything is part of a whole. So whether you stay or go, you have already succeeded in this place of uh, authenticity, of understanding the true nature of your power and understanding that the circumstances almost don't matter because the power resides within you. And the Eight of Pentacles is showing your willingness to do the work. That this is about self-development, personal development, evolving yourself in a way that seeks to improve upon your skills and in that way improve upon your environment, have an impact that is beneficial to those you serve. In the middle of October, the Six of Swords is clarified by the Queen of Swords and the Chariot card. The Chariot card is about you moving away aside the distractions of the needs of others. This is in some ways coming again to an acceptance of who you are, the acceptance of all of your gifts holistically. So perhaps if you work in a field where you serve one aspect of your devotion, your craft, your love of building, there's some other aspect to that that you are now standing up for, speaking up for, identifying as your destiny. You're integrating some aspects of yourself that uh, you felt timid or inadequate to integrate in the past. This also describes a kind of leveraging up in your career in a way that you can have greater freedom to put aside the distractions of others, the distractions that once defined your professional practice. Instead, now you're really speaking up for what you're best at, what your strength is, and clearing the deck so that you can operate from that place more consistently. And the Queen of Swords is describing the way that you do that. This is you being dispassionate about your passion so that you've identified what you're good at, what you want to be better at, what means your heart's expression, what you can't cordon off some aspect of your devotion, your craft that is wrapping up your achievement in a more meaningful uh, package for yourself and for others. Of course, you're modeling something unique. And this is really the skill with which you're able to understand that it is about speaking your truth that sets your intentions differently, more comprehensively than they have before. So you may not have always spoken up for what you truly wanted, but you did do the work for whatever consequence you or whatever environment you found yourself in. You devoted yourself to that. But now it's time to speak to what you truly want, all of it, understanding that you deserve that. The Two of Cups at the end of October is clarified by the Death card and the Seven of Swords. Ooh. Yeah, yeah, I'm seeing some deception in your concept of love. This deception may be on your part. I'm feeling that there is some sense of hiding your truth, not admitting to your truth, shying away from the work, perhaps, of relationship. And we're going to focus on relationship because it's a little bit easier for me to talk about that. Also, what as a consequence of your inability to be completely forthcoming in your relationships, what you received in return was a sense of being manipulated by your devotion, your responsibility, your obligation, that others manipulated that, understanding that you were only here, you perhaps only participate in a relationship as a form of taking care of your responsibilities rather than from a sense of love. And that being absent, that you felt that that was the experience that love was, that there was not a potential or possibility of truly being in a mutually productive relationship. And I have to say that's important for you. Death here means that this idea of love is no longer uh, operable in your life. It's no longer functioning as you've gained a greater sense of self empowerment, self love, self respect, that certain behaviors can't be tolerated if you love yourself, if you respect yourself, and that you would not ask certain obligations or seek certain connections with those who were not capable of loving themselves in the same way, of not manipulating you into a sense of obligation, so that you are releasing the beliefs that actually led to relationships that felt obligatory rather than consensual, mutual, respectful. And instead, releasing that can actually be coincidental with the loss of important people in your life. This feels like the loss of a mother, but it can be anyone who was important to you. That loss has actually opened up a sense of releasing a set of beliefs that may have been engendered in you through a partner, a parent, or some other significant loved one, but that you now feel free to explore deeper connection through your own connection to yourself and seeing that reflected in your environment. I'm going to finish up this reading, Virgo, with a chakra love oracle, and hope that this reading has been useful to you. And I've pulled the chakra balance, which is really about the whole column of light that infuses our chakras. And these beautiful colored stones all correlate to one of the 7 or 8 chakras. And of course, there are many, many more chakras, but these are the ones we commonly talk about and identify as being central to our own functioning, healthy functioning, but also intuition. Um, the key words are embrace the balance between earth and spirit. I'm going to leave this here. And thank you so much, Virgo, for this reading. Until next time, namaste.